it's really interesting that so many people are talking about this Chinese social credit score, and now they're saying, oh my gosh, can you believe that Venezuela now has a social credit score? Those crazy socialist dictators, communists, blah, 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 blah. Well, I talked about this like a month ago. The Ultra FICO, that's a social credit score. They're just calling it something else, and then in about a year, well, actually right now they're even doing it. They're praising it. Whenever you look at something and both sides of the aisle, being like CNN and Fox and all of these people that supposedly have different values and different insights on things, are all praising this, and you're only hearing about the negative aspects from alternative media, you should really question it. It's going to affect your car insurance. It's going to affect everything. Because what it does is it rolls like all the time. You know, like your normal FICO score, like they only look at a certain amount of things. This thing's going to be terrible. And I have a chart that I'm going to input in here about, oh my gosh, it's so crazy, how much your insurance is going to go up if you have no credit history, which a lot of young people don't, and a lot of people that pay with cash and stuff don't. Like, your car insurance is going to double like 200%. It's going to affect every aspect, not just, oh, your credit score, and people are like, I don't care, I pay cash with everything. It's going to affect you. It's going to affect everything. And the Real ID, coupled with the Real ID, it's going to be horrible. And nobody's really noticing it. It's really strange. There's only a handful of people that even talked about it. You look it up and you barely even see anything about it. And it's starting next year. It's weird how people are so blind to certain things. So let's look at that chart. So with this Ultra FICO and Big Brother and all of this, I want to show you a few weird things. You know, the predictive programming, like this movie, well, Netflix show, Black Mirror. It's really creepy if you haven't seen it. I haven't seen the whole thing, but it's where you rate, you know, people and get your rating score for the things that you do on social media. Like this lady right now, she's at an airport and she doesn't get on the plane because her score is too low, and airport security is telling her that she's being too angry, and then she got double damaged and it dropped her score like really low, and he's telling her to leave the airport. And this is actually happening in China, and that's what's rolling out here with all of these situations. It connects the citizens' financial, social, political, legal credit scoring into one big social trustability score, including whether someone has gotten traffic tickets, you know, if they paid their taxes, and what they buy online. If you're consistently buying video games, for instance, you'll be seen as idle. If you're buying diapers, you could be considered a responsible parent. It's super creepy, y'all. It's broken down into 5 subcategories: social connections, consumption behavior, security, wealth, and compliance. Higher ratings, which allow citizens to rent a car or bike without a deposit. And these things aren't going on yet here, but this is the model. While those who score low will be blacklisted and banned from other forms of travel. Now we have the New York Times trying to make banks and credit card companies feel like they are financing mass shootings. Daily Caller: New York Times reporters advocate tracking gun purchases made with credit cards. Wow. New York Times wants to have credit card companies monitor the sale of guns and ammo. So consider it fear porn, whatever, it's happening. So here's a chart of states that will have the highest increases in the upcoming year when they have poor, this is for car insurance. So Michigan, if your credit goes from fair to poor, your car insurance is going to go up 229%. Utah, 223%. Then the lowest of the high goes up 148%. So if you are paying $1,000 for insurance, you will now be paying $2,500 for your car insurance. Nobody's going to be able to afford that. That is insane. It's going to start affecting health insurance, life insurance, all kinds of aspects. So I don't see anything that we can do about this at this point. So the best thing to do is just keep your credit up, keep $400 in your bank account. I know it's hard, but we've turned into China. So we have some average customer rates, and then customers in the lowest credit score. So we've got 695, 918, 558 for the highest credit. I mean, the states in the darkest right here are going to be the ones affected the most. But I want you to understand that since there's nothing that we can do about this, you really need to take it seriously and do the right thing so your kids don't lose their health insurance, or you lose your, car insurance or whatever. So as bad as it is, we still need to take it seriously and keep your credit good, do whatever you can. And please don't listen to people like this. April Lejeune has been running a scam, talking about all this craziness with your social security number and everything. It's a complete scam. Actually, her partners that she's been doing this with, one of them was just convicted and sentenced to like 10 years in prison or something. It's really bad. Don't fall for that stuff, y'all. One guy lost his house. Anyway, let's talk about so Fox is running another PSYOP. Well, they've been doing it with Venezuela. Now they're putting out this ridiculous article. Desperate women fleeing Venezuela sell hair, breast milk, and sex to get by. Pretty sure that women here in America do that, and I'm going to show you proof of that in just one second. But what I want to talk about is false equivalency. It is a logical fallacy in which two completely opposing arguments appear to be logically equivalent when in fact they are not. Like, 1 is a number, 2 is a number. That must mean 2 equals 1. A group that uses this false equivalency fallacy a lot are flat earthers. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so they say, oh, can't see curvature, ergo flat earth. NASA lied to us about the moon landing, ergo flat earth. The UN, look at their flag. Oh, flat earth. Those don't mean that the earth is flat. So when they demonize Venezuela and what's going on there, they say, oh, their economy is crashing, must be socialism. Well, what about our economy crashing? What are they going to blame that on? You see where I'm going? Those are logical fallacies that people aren't seeing. These people here in the United States sell breast milk and hair and sex the same. Now let's look at these people. Do they look like they're starving? I don't think they do at all. And then we have Colombia, our best friends, on the side besides Israel, of course. And they're just being complete ridiculous. I'm not even gonna go there. And then what Bolsonaro's doing, and I'm gonna have to do an entire separate video. Then they use this right here. This happened because of an earthquake. So Fox and these other news outlets use these pictures to pull at your heartstrings and say, oh my gosh, it's all destitute and everything. This happened because of an earthquake. And all of those people standing around, do they look starving? And then they want to talk about the immigration. Again, I've brought this up again. Just less than a decade ago, 6 million Colombians fled to Venezuela. Venezuela took them in because of the drug wars, helped them out, gave them food, gave them work, and so now they're going home. But everybody wants to depict it as these Venezuelans fleeing to Colombia or Brazil, when that, in fact, is not exactly the truth. Are they having issues? Of course they're having issues. All of these signs are 100% signs of what would happen in a strategically planned economical collapse is what we did. When I say we, I mean big oil, big agri, all of these people. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go to my other Venezuela videos. These are really important. I know people don't think they are because, oh, it's just little Venezuela. This is a big deal, a huge deal. It's crazy. So I'm sure maybe some of y'all have noticed I've kind of cut back on reading my comments, and that kind of makes me understand why so many YouTubers don't read their comments. Like, I used to put a heart next to everybody's comments and reply, but I kind of see why they don't, because it's absolutely insane how angry people are at hearing the truth and then say, trust God, you know, like on my Shit Hits the Fan video. Okay, God gave us free will, so you have the free will to prepare, or you have the free will to do nothing. Nobody said it was the end of the world and it was rapture coming. I mean I didn't. I'm sure some people are, but that's what people are acting like whenever I'm saying that shit's gonna hit the fan and countries, all this stuff collapse and everything. Okay, you're welcome for the warning, I guess. But yeah, that's not exactly what nobody said. Not too many people said thank you. Some people did, and thank you so much for being so. It's hard to hear the truth, but it's just really crazy that people are so angry at me because I'm telling the truth, and that they just can't accept it, or they say, you know, just trust God. You're losing faith. Maybe you're not Christian and all this craziness, or you're not a patriot. I'm not a patriot because I'm telling you the truth. I mean, that's just insanity. That is insane. And it's insane that you're going to say trust God when God gave us free will. Isn't that what free will is for? You are supposed to do it. Just like there was this old, you know, like saying about, oh, I heard it was something, maybe it's just from here, so I'll tell y'all. So Boudreaux and Thibodeau, that is a Louisiana last name, and they were, you know, sitting on the roof of their house during a hurricane, and they're praying to God and saying, how come you didn't save us? And he said, well, I sent you the man in the boat, I sent you the man in the helicopter, and I sent you the weatherman or something like that, and you never took the warning. So, you know, what it's saying is, you still have to do something. Just like, there's a billboard that I've seen that said something, it's about abortion, but it was like, why can't we get a cure for cancer? And it says, well, I sent you that person, but you aborted them. Something along those lines. So, that's the thing. Just because you have faith in God doesn't mean like things are gonna fall from the sky and you're gonna have food and shelter and survival stuff, or anything in that case. You still have to do. But anyway, off my soapbox. I hope y'all are all having a wonderful day. I'm going to finish the rest of my Christmas shopping